Arthas versus Malfurion.
I must protect the world. For Lordaeron!
Toss all that stuff. Found Kalaseth, nice.
The light protects me.
Easy Kalaseth.
Do you need a blessing? I fight.
Play out our 3-2, get some hero power value. Alright, a 3-6 is kind of annoying to deal with. Could just freeze it, try to put some other stuff on the board, and then not have to trade off my Young Priestess. But maybe it's better to just go ahead and trade her off. I have to get through this eventually. But she doesn't die to swipe, she helps some of my other stuff not die to swipe. I'm gonna see if I can get away with ignoring this for a turn.
Seek your peace.
Trade this guy off to play around swipe. Opted to kill the Kalaseth instead of the Priestess. I guess it makes sense because now I have to trade her off anyway. And yeah, I guess I should.
More training and fight.
Well, I think I'm gonna play Azalina next turn, so I'm just gonna play my 3-3 here. I was hoping he would draw some cards for me. I guess I play Harrison Jones here. Puts more stats on the table. And re-rolling a 6-5 with this is kinda bad. He'll probably have about 6 cards to seal next turn.
The light dims.
Give me some cards. I only got 5 instead of the 6 I would have gotten last turn. Whoa. That's a set of Hearthstone cards. Does Hadronox do anything for me? It'll get this Righteous Protector back. So probably want to make sure I play my other taunts first.
Fluffy, snuggles, fetch.
Would be a Primordial Drake. Pretty happy he pulled the Drake here instead of just playing it. Well, this guy's gonna die, and then I'm going to throw a Blessing of Wisdom on this one, I think. And drop a Lich King. Traded the Squire because she's more vulnerable to silence than the Azalina. Not that there should ever be a silence in this deck. Alright, he plays his own Lich King. But I can play an anti-magic shell here. You kinda like the look of that. This does not come back off of Hadronox because it doesn't naturally have taunt. But I mean, this is probably still just the play, right?
See now the power of the Dark Fallen.
Reporting for duty.
Second anti-magic shell. Well, I know that 4 of the cards in his hand don't do anything here. And generally, I don't think there's much that a Taunt Druid can do against this board. Okay, Doom Pact. That is a thing. But there's a Witching Hour, a Naturalize. Witching Hour and Naturalize mostly. Man, he is getting close to fatigue. I'm just gonna play the Hadronox here. It should survive the turn, and I can just cube it. It brings back a Lich King and a Righteous Protector. If I can cube it, then I can start getting a bunch of Lich Kings. Alright, he's gonna play his own. I saw a Naturalize already. Looks like he does have the second one. So I could still be in trouble here. That Doom Pact was brutal. It's 4 things, and one of them is a Lich King, so that's a problem. Sunkeeper Tarim is good, though. But then I don't get to cube my Hadronox. Alright, I want to kill his Lich King. I'm not sure if that was a good use of the anti-magic shell. It's a super strong card. But cubing the spider seems really good, killing his Lich King seems really good. I could have just killed one of these instead and then like played like these things out. But I want to be getting Lich Kings back off my Hadronoxes, not necessarily more Righteous Protectors. So, I don't know. Gonna gain his 6 armor there. I've seen 1 Witching Hour. Not sure how many cubes I've seen. I feel like I haven't seen too many cubes out of him. So he can still make some boards. Played both Primordial Drakes. So this could be like Spellstone, Wrath, Swipe, any of that kind of stuff.
Time waits for no one.
I think I'm going to play Sunkeeper Tarim here. Or maybe I want to hold the Tarim to shrink my Hadronoxes so I can actually get their Death Rattles.
What would Uther
But I don't really think I need to do that. I think I can just make a strong Sunkeeper Tarim play here. Be pretty happy with myself.
reporting for duty?
I'm actually not allowed to play anything else because then I won't have room for my Hadronoxes. Guess I can draw a card here.
I'm out of cards.
Alright, Taunt Druid. How does it feel to be staring down 7 pretty good sized minions, including 2 Hadronoxes, threatening to bring back double Lich King? Well, that Doom Pact was pretty free, but I think I have a good board here. 23, I think, is 17.
I can see.
Rank 4, again.
Arthas versus Liadrin.
My blade burns with holy fire.
For Lordaeron.
Eliseth is definitely a keeper. Go ahead and get those buffs rolling.
Reporting for duty.
I think I'm just gonna hero power for this turn. Maybe next turn I can start throwing buffs on my dudes and going face.
Let the pain speak to me. Speak your peace.
Alright, one shot the Acolyte, play a taunt, hit him in the face for 4. Let's play some stuff. And I guess I'll just shard his face. Doesn't seem like this will trigger anytime soon. And 3 minions on the board is not quite enough, I don't think. Pretty good card. I guess I can use my Divine Shield here. I've seen one Consecration, and even if he plays the other, I still have my 6/4. Alright, Lyra is decent. Got one of my few spells to go along with it. Actually, it's my last spell, now that I've played Liam. That's cool. You'll let my Liam get a new card. Ooh, can really pop off with Lyra next turn, maybe. Wow, this is actually active. Nice. But I think I'm gonna go for this. That was a big flash. So this is 9. Puts me up to 11. I mean, I guess I'm probably just gonna play it anyway, right? Triple Lyra. Why can't this go face? Do I want to trade to protect my Lyras? Or just get the 6 face damage? Probably just want the 6 face damage. I've seen one Consecration, but he can still have Equality Consecration. There are also like Wild Pyromancer plays that can clear my board. Looks like that's what he's going for. Steed, sure. I still have a Lyra. Oh, I have a Masked Spell, actually. Man, Lyra is a heck of a card. This deck actually ended up being a lot more fun than I was expecting, and with a 42% win rate, I can't really complain too much about the results. I think the thing that really surprised me was just how slow the metagame is right now. There aren't really that many true aggro decks running around, so you have plenty of time to play Prince Liam, or even Azalina Soul Thief. And because you play so much early game stuff, you can pretty much hard mulligan for Prince Liam every game, or hard mulligan for Prince Keleseth too. And you can do that without actually messing up your early game curve, so you draw into your power cards pretty often. And again, because the metagame is relatively slow, it doesn't really matter if the first, even 2 legendaries that you draw off Prince Liam aren't very impactful, because you'll probably get to the 3rd one if you're playing Prince Liam on turn 5 or 6. So the meta gives you a lot of time, and when you have just a bunch of random legendaries and stuff in your deck, a lot of time is what you need. So the deck ended up being not too bad. In my first video with this deck, I mentioned the interaction between Keleseth and Prince Liam, where basically your random legendaries from Liam would keep the Keleseth buff. But in the recent patch, I think it was 11.2, which came out the day that I uploaded that video, I think that interaction got fixed. They didn't mention Keleseth, but they mentioned Kingsbane with buffs, and I assume that works similarly to Keleseth. And that is actually a bit of a nerf to the deck, because if you're playing both of these on curve, then you're only getting, 3 buffs out of the Keleseth, instead of a full game of buffs? But those early turn buffs are the really important ones. Once you're playing Liam, you're pretty happy. I think it's okay, but a little bit of a disappointment that we can't continue cheating. As far as the list, it's pretty inflexible, so the only change I made was cutting a Light's Justice for a Young Priestess. I just don't think there are very many good Light's Justice matchups on ladder right now. You could make some argument for cutting the second one and play a Tyrion or a Lich King or a Death Knight or something at the top end. But I wanted to keep as much stuff for my Liam as possible, so I think I'm pretty happy with this list. And I guess the other question to ask is, are Prince Taldaram and Prince Valinor worth it? The answer is that they're probably not worth it, but don't be lame, just play all 4 princes.